Do you remember your first interaction with money? For most young people, it happens at an early age. Receiving birthday money, opening a bank account, or that first paycheck from a summer job. Research shows building your financial education at a young age can help you develop successful money management skills. As a brand new school year starts, how can young people up their money and investing game? And how can parents support their kids' financial journey? That's coming your way on the Upside Plus. I'm Emily Aninwevo, and welcome to the Upside Plus, a show that aims to boost your financial health and wealth. Here at Fidelity Investments Canada, we want to help young people and parents increase their financial knowledge together in an exciting and engaging way. Let's look at how Fidelity is helping young individuals, parents, and teachers broaden their investing literacy through money gains.
In this video, we'll break down the difference between saving and investing.
So essentially, Money Gains is an amazing campaign that's focused on creating opportunities for young people to learn about financial literacy, and in particular, investment literacy. So we've kind of taken this opportunity to create videos that anyone can use, parents, teachers, to kind of facilitate conversations about investment literacy.
What type of plans does Money Gains offer to the broader school community?
Yeah, so honestly, it's one of the things we're most proud of is the fact that we focused on creating these lesson plans with teachers for teachers, because we wanted to make sure that they were accessible, that they hit the accommodations needed for all students and all learners. It was a really big focus for us to make sure that we weren't just creating plans that weren't usable in the classroom. So we also created glossaries and presentations that teachers are able to use, just kind of creating an out-of-the-box solution for teachers to kind of jump right in and bring investment literacy to their classroom.
What types of topics does Money Gains cover?
Yeah, so we cover, there's a huge range actually. So we start from like asset classes and learning about your own investment tolerance and risk, as well as saving goals and time horizons. And then some of our newer videos are jumping into topics like sustainable investing. So we've got a huge range for every learner, and it's just something that's ready for everybody to learn.
Where can young people and parents and educators find our Money Gains series?
So fidelity.ca, we've got our Money Gains site on there. That's also where teachers are able to find the lesson plans, the presentations, the glossaries, all that jazz is on there. Also on YouTube, so all of our videos are also there. Just trying to make it as easy for everybody to watch as possible.
Absolutely. And just lastly, Ravina, why is Money Gains such an incredible resource for educators and parents and youth?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing that people often forget is that people learn about investing through, especially young people, through people in their life. So the problem can be if people don't have someone that's going to tell them or teach them about it, there isn't necessarily another way that they're going to learn. So this is why it's such an important resource, is because it bridges the gap for students. So all students are able to kind of learn on their own and take charge of their own financial literacy journey. I think that's our biggest goal, is just really making it so accessible for people to learn about investment literacy.
Money Gains is an excellent resource and starting off point to get young people interested in investing. And research shows that younger individuals want to know more about investing now more than ever before. The 2024 Fidelity Young Canadian Study, in partnership with Ipsos, highlights what exactly fuels young investors' decision-making and financial goals. And the results are positive. Teens are thinking about money in an optimistic way. Let's dig deeper. So we know teens are thinking about money more positively. And 18 to 34-year-olds have positive feelings about money too. They also feel a sense of nervousness, probably coming from not knowing the right time and amount of money needed to start investing. Plus, 18 to 24-year-olds and 25 to 34-year-olds express different needs and preferences when it comes to investing. The younger group relies heavily on social media and engaging content, whereas the older group prefers guidance from financial advisors and companies. But do you know what was consistent across both age groups? Young people reported a strong influence from family to provide investment-related information and guidance. According to our recent study, we know young people rely on family and parents for financial information. So as parents and adults, how do we begin to talk to our kids about money? We sit down with Canadian author and financial expert Robin Taub to talk about just that.
My first tip is try not to make money a taboo topic at home. Instead, have conversations around the dinner table about finance and investing. Try to make that part of your regular conversations, because then your kids will get used to talking about money and it won't be such a taboo topic. And it's much better to be open about money than it is to be secretive. But also make sure the information that you share is age appropriate, because young kids, what they can absorb and understand will be very different than what your older children might be able to ask about or understand in terms of investing, saving, all of what I call the 5 pillars of money of earning, saving, spending, sharing, and investing.
Now, Robin, your second tip has to do with FOMO, the fear of missing out. Can you expand on that?
Yes, so we think of FOMO as a bad thing, and it can be, because it can cause young people to spend too much to keep up the appearances online of living their best life. But we're talking about creating a good kind of FOMO by talking about, that proverbial neighborhood kid or your friend's child who's gotten into investing and really is enjoying it and has become successful with it. Because as you know, young people have gotten more interested in investing, and it started during the pandemic when we were in lockdowns and people were looking for things to do, and that's when meme stocks became a thing. So there is a lot of interest. You want to capitalize on that. But talk to your kids about the difference between a meme stock, which is really speculative, and investing, which is based on fundamentals. So just encouraging them to think about it when they're young, because then they have so much time to take advantage of compounding, and they're really playing the long game when they start investing at a young age.
Now, people may not know, but financial literacy is now a requirement in Ontario for students in grade 10. What should parents know, and how can they get involved?
That's right. So it has been integrated into the curriculum for over a decade, but starting in 2025, students will have to pass, and by pass I mean get over 70% on a financial literacy test in order to graduate from high school. So I think everyone's in favor of this, because financial literacy is considered a basic life skill. And we want our students to come out with with some practical skills, like knowing how to create a household budget, or how to save, or how to protect themselves from fraud. And this is Ontario we're talking about, but across the country, all the provinces and territories do offer similar types of courses, often in grade 10, either in math or careers classes. So I think I'm all in favor of it. And I think for parents, research shows that kids want to learn about money from their parents, and they want their parents to be good financial role models. So this is also an opportunity to talk about, what are you learning in school about money? What did you cover in your course? And to support those lessons, and also to try and get your own financial house in order so that you can be a good role model, a good financial role model for your kids.
And going back to your first point, just making money investing an open conversation within the family and around the dinner table. So
correct.
That's great. Now, we all know that young people are on social media.
Yeah.
But the tricky thing is that social media platforms could become the only source of information for kids, which could sort of get into dangerous territory.
Right.
So how can parents monitor that, and what should they know?
I think you should be aware of the source of the information, because your kids may be getting misinformation or just information that's wrong. It's not from a credible source. So you want to, see who they're following on YouTube or on other platforms, and make sure that it's from an institution, like a respected institution like Fidelity, or a stock exchange like the Ontario Stock Exchange, as well as Manitoba, offer great resources as well. So that's one thing. You also, what are the credentials of the person delivering the information? Do they have a designation? Are they a CPA like myself? Are they a CFA or CFP or some other true designation? Otherwise, maybe they're just someone who's trying to, sell something like a course that's really for their benefit. They get more out of it than you end up doing, or your child. And the other thing too is there's a lot of, we call them finfluencers, that are in the US. So beware of information that's for Americans. Like if you start hearing about Roth IRAs or 401ks, those aren't available in Canada. So Canadian sources is what you want to steer your kids towards.
Absolutely. Now, Robin, your last tip has to do with empowering young people on their financial journey. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so following up on what we said, we want to empower our kids with education, whether that comes from school or the home, and also with experience. So if your older kids are working or they're getting money from allowance or gifts, they have the options and the choices to save it, spend it, share it, or invest it. And we want to give them those opportunities to make those choices and learn that money is a finite resource. And they're going to have to make trade-offs, and sometimes they're going to make mistakes, which is okay when they're young. And when it comes to saving and investing, we really want to encourage young people to start early and to invest early and regularly. So make it automatic. Pay yourself first by setting up some kind of an automatic transfer. Again, they're playing the long game. They have decades ahead of them to take advantage of the power of compounding to grow their wealth.
Robin, thank you so much for
My
being
pleasure.
here. Always great insights from you. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We know how important it is to provide our youth with the financial and money management skills to succeed, and helping strengthen young people's lives has always been the mandate of BGC Canada. And Fidelity Canada has been a proud partner of BGC for over 20 years. Let's hear more from Amy Terrill, Executive Director of BGC Kawarthas.
What we're trying to do is give children and youth the skills, of course, to have a more positive, healthy, happy future. And we provide a safe and supportive place where children and youth can experience new things, where they can learn essential skills in a variety of areas, where they can get connected to their community, and most importantly, where they spend time with caring adults. We have clubs across the country, most of which would offer summer camps. A variety of camps for sure. And then there are a variety of other programs, many youth services, sometimes certainly sports programs around those skills. And food and nutrition is a big part of what we do. Really, we have a wide variety. There are 600 club locations across Canada, and we are some of the largest employers of youth. So many times a young person is having their first job working with a club. So imagine the experience. I don't know if you can remember, but I can remember my very first paycheck when I was a young person, and just saying, wow, like this is my money. What doors will that open looking forward? So just giving them the idea about the value of the paycheck and how it can help them to achieve other goals that they may have in future.
Amy, what does your experience say about young people having role models in their life as they grow up?
Oh, it's absolutely critical, Emily. So, I mean, a lot of the children we work with are vulnerable and may not have role models in their home the way I certainly did when I was growing up. So let me give you an example. There's a young man named Eddie who is, there are lots of Eddies across the country. But Eddie had a really tough upbringing, moved from place to place, caregivers coming and going in his life, not treating him well in some cases. And he witnessed a lot of addictions. He witnessed a lot of violence in his life, and all the while trying to care for his younger siblings and keep them safe. Fortunately for Eddie, he was moved to a more stable environment and referred to one of our programs. And in 2 years, we've seen this incredible change in Eddie because of the people that he's now spending time with, who really are amazing role models. He's now been nominated for a resiliency award. He's come from a young man who was clearly had experienced trauma, had his own mental health challenges, and was very antisocial, to a really warm and welcoming and engaging young man who wants to make sure new attendees at our youth center feel safe right from the start. So it's just to show you an example where having those positive people in his life has made a huge difference.
It's never too late to help your kids learn about money and set them up for success on their financial journey. We hope you gain knowledge and know-how on the basics of investing and how to help your kids on their financial path. I'm Emily Anuevo, and thanks for tuning in to The Upside Plus.